Succumb to the wiles of a rubbery lumps seller. A wax paper cone brimming with rubbery lumps sounds just about perfect. It tastes precisely as advertised, hot, rubbery, faintly sweet, with a dashing of mirin and brown sugar, and an aftertaste reminiscent of roasted berries, like a memory of better days. You graze on a palmful of lumps before you put the rest away. Your clothes are threadbare, you are scruffy. What about our clothes? You need opportunity crockery. What? Exclusive exhibition of portraits. We need a tired and a filia with Bohemia. Okay. Let's go to the beach. No trip to Waterbury is complete without a jaunt along the beach. You should stroll down to the shore where the mists wait in glittering coils. This is a beach. Of course it is a beach. What else could it be? It is a stretch of pale particulates and rolling mists. The air smells of salt and things that mummified in the sun, of cinnamon and licorice. It is pebbles and grains of blue glass, tendrils of something curious and organic. Worm-like growths tufting through the sediment. This is exactly what beaches are. Sure. We only have two options. Seek out the stained glass aristocrats. Rich tutter around the port sneering. Their eyes are an affectation, a mimicry of the mist changed down to long-term port workers. If you convince them you're their peer, they'll help you to pare the lies away. This will assist you to see Waterbury weirdness around the beach and Waterbury juxta mare. We need gossip. And having some Waterbury weirdness. Sure. A giggling crash of aristocrats stand waiting by the water, their stained glass eyes incandescent. Sea glass, they say when you ask, hand gathered in the mists, hand inserted by specialists. Hand inserted into their eyes. Gross. Your gossip makes them shriek with laughter. When they've finished relishing another's misfortune, they take you by the arms and legs. One with more delicacy than you'd expect peels your eyelids apart. Someone just gently whispers, "This will only hurt a little." It's a lie. It always is. Jeez. When the tears finally stop flowing, you can see more clearly. The port's naive attempts to be anything but what it is. And we can just do it again. Is it gonna be any different? No. Okay, guess we return then. Stop at a charming tea room. Sure, I guess tea is always a good idea. In a universe of horrors, tea is never wrong. Your tea is tepid, sickly sweet. The room, bare concrete and naked flames, is barren save for muscular men clustered in tense discussion. Broken glass carpets the floor. Perhaps this wasn't the best choice in eateries. It appears traditional for patrons here to abscond with one piece of cutlery. Something you can slip into your pocket. A teaspoon, a butter knife, the little pot for the jam. Whatever best reminds them of the tea room. As such, you do the same. No reason to be impolite. It is time to be elsewhere. That's the line about our clothes. Because our clothes are screwed, I guess. As you spot what is not right, you start to see what is actually there, but we have to leave actually. Okay. Cold frisson down your spine, dragging your attention southwards. Oh dear, your clothes are in tatters. Your beautiful garments are nothing but rags now. Well-dressed onlookers gawk and giggle, whisper and point. You look bedraggled, shabby, and worst of all, unfashionable. Bedraggled or bedraggled? Not too sure. Bedraggled. Bedraggled.
Bedraggled.
Right. Okay, so we are not permitted into here anymore. Okay. Prove that you are permitted to enter. Oh, we have a ministry stamped permit. What did we need that for? For the ministries. Right, it's just money. Gain admittance by supplying the port authorities. Pay for entrance. Inquire about the lottery. There is no indication as to when it will next be held. Is it at the whim of the port authorities? Prove you know the right sorts. Aha, so if we had we hunted Tacotes, we'd be in good favors, good graces here. Gain admittance by supplying... Right, we can supply a bunch of things. Well, okay, inquire about the lottery. The queue snakes across the lip of the docks like an umbilical cord or a garland. Scalpers bark temptations, promising expedited access. Vendors patrol the undulations of the line, offering drinks, snacks, anything to spare the mind from the doldrums. Finally, a woman in tattered mourning attire answers. It's every fortnight, more or less. You want to be near the front. They only give out a few passes. Don't want to dilute the quality of the clientele, I hear. It appears you'll have to come back later if you want to get in via the Pauper's Pass. Okay. Except we were one down from the place, so even if we get in right now, is it still gonna be bad for us? Let's first check that. Do they sell fuel and supplies? Yeah, that's great. Both. And we can buy literature. Okay, we needed literature for a bunch of reasons. Or was it just one, actually? Just one. Bring 5 to the Clockwork Sun. Okay. So we could just buy it and then get fuel and supplies. But let's first check the bazaar. Aha. So they sell crockery here. Well, actually, it's just 40 to get in that way. So let's do that. As soon as you... let's read what was there before. It seems fun. People will keep pilfering the cups for mementos. Replacing them is a constant chore. If you had the Bureau of Entertainments... Jeez, pronunciation is so annoying here. The Bureau of Entertainments out. They'll slide you in past the queue. Okay, perhaps it's not the words. Perhaps it's just me. As soon as you've handed over goods, the official clicks his fingers. Workers from the Bureau of Entertainments quickly commandeer your attention. A man and a woman appearing on each side, both exquisitely dressed, their smiles well-whetted knives. Come already. The couturier doesn't like waiting. You need an outfit. Come. Sure. I swear a hat. What a dizzying cornucopia of grotesque perfect millinery. London would weep in envy. The couturier summons a pair of pale children, their stained glass eyes a palette of emerald golds. They will help you with anything you need, Principal. No favors too big, too terrible. I'd ask that you don't request a bladder as a hat, however. I hate training new help. Huh? What? Okay, that just sounds disgusting. Let's go on. His assistants are as attentive as they are silent. Reverently, they offer possibilities in flattering headgear. Fascinators, bowlers, top hats, even veils filigreed with milky blue seed pearls, and roses the red of a broken heart. When you finally dismiss the children, the couturier considers you for a long moment. He turns to a wardrobe and hands you several garments, all your size. Once you're dressed, he dismisses you, shooing you into Waterbury Yuxtamare. Condition of your clothes, as that was written here, will limit your time in Waterbury. Okay, so we could do that again. I don't know if maybe we'd see something different. Because we now have glass in our eyes? Because we did see bad things in the tea shop. I guess let's try the donkey thing again. The donkey you've been assigned is petite and even-tempered. Its head's mostly well-formed. Pity about the one that had failed to correctly bud. The donkeys are many-headed. Okay. It drags along the sand, its flesh in ribbons. You are returned to the paddock of nervous customers intact and only moderately traumatized. Ponder that strange, unearthly taste. A residue persists from that last cup of tea, a flavor like roasted chestnuts and the color blue like absinthe brewed in the belly of a store. Ew. By having no terror, we are quite likely to fail that. We do want to do that option eventually, but I guess we have some more time before our clothes are too worn out for us to do that. Although perhaps we will need good clothes to do whatever comes next. Well, then we can always do that next time. Or perhaps just buy some crockery again and do that. Right. Let's do all of our options here. We are too likely to fail here, but perhaps failing is not that bad. I don't know. I don't think we've done that option. A babel of shops and stalls sears the gaze with bold mismatched colors. Sure. The frames shop, as it turns out, is not where you purchase corrective glasses. Instead, it hawks poor metaphors and second-rate similes, phrases with which to inadequately frame a situation. Not wanting to be impolite, you buy an analogy for an upset stomach. Consider the strangeness of the lanes. The lanes do not appear as advertised, but of all their sins, that one is the least phantasmagoric. It is most likely the smiles, maybe. Carnivore expressions, syrupy and gleaming, faultless mirrors of the couturier's dazzling grin. Or maybe it is the second-rate souvenirs cobbled from haberdashery on children's nightmares, the arsenic aftertaste of the candy floss, the wine-wild quality of the local perfumes. The wine-wild quality of the local perfumes could be anything. Could just be your insecurities, the error of your existence. Whatever the case, the lanes continue their watch. Politely, of course. More of the bot will become available to you. Okay, we've gained one secret Charista Nectar. Why? Clamber through the gnarly door. Well, that's new. The door slides like a thief into the periphery of your vision, too short to enter unless you crawl. You pry the door open. Inside is the throat of a short tunnel, connective tissue really, leading out into a star-swallowed twilight. Twilight? I think it's twilight. A canal slicked with juices that cannot so much be seen as felt. The journey begins here. Pushed through to the other side, you press down. It sticks to you, vernix and the warm reek of intestinal meat, gelatinous and insistent that you remain where you are. Perhaps it is the Sisyphean nature of the travel. Perhaps it's carelessness. Whatever it is, the voice of the man ahead of you, salt dry and salt cold, comes as a surprise. You're late for the sermon too, he hisses. You mustn't be late for the sermon. His hand grasps yours, tugs you through the translucent membrane, across the path, through church doors. You don't have time to observe the port. The air seizes you, cold as a corpse's kiss, and something about it is wrong. The bedraggled parson stands before his people, palms raised. Today we stand before they who must grieve, to give praise to their sacrifice. Without them there would be no joy, no agony against which we might juxtapose the sweetness of our existence. Do not ever forget this. If you forget all else, do not forget this. He raises his eyebrows at you. A pleasure to see a new member. Please join us later on the beach. Listen to the sermon, talk to the cultists at your right or to our left. You find a seat among the parishioners, their skin walled with strange patterns, tentacular calligraphy that might quite possibly be flesh. Talk to an old woman, her hair swaddled in gold filigree, or a restless-seeming individual of indeterminate age, gender, and species. That sounds interesting, but first I'd like to have an idea about the broader picture. What's the sermon? The bedraggled parson paces across his stage, lit up from behind by his reverence, his conviction in the sutras of his speech. Here is a man assured in his precise place in the universe. And remember, next Tuesday a baptism at the Mists. All those looking to experience a closer connection with they who must grieve, come down to shore. We could keep listening, and we cannot, beloveds, allow ourselves to be afraid of they who must grieve. In our ignorance we defame as monsters, but are we not the monstrous ones, we who live so alone? What? Okay, let's talk to that weird guy. Hello. They burble gently at you, their voice like a chorus of brooks. You're new. When they speak, you can see that they do not in fact have tongues, but a mouth like the insides of an intestine, soft with pale villi. Perhaps that is why they sound the way they do. Villi. Tiny intestinal hair. Ah, villus. Right, willy because it is plural. Okay. The Bureau does not like me in Waterbury Uxtamare. They don't even like me in the off-season. But I have seen they who must grieve, and I will remember that day always. It transformed my body, my mind, my heart. Huh? You have more to say? No. The bedraggled parson stands before his people, palms raised. He clears his throat, but before the parturition of the first syllable, officials from the Bureau of Entertainment swarm into the chapel, howling like blood-drunk wolves. There is little resistance from the congregation, merely an affected resignation. The officers from the Bureau of Entertainment are civil as they evict the crowd. Once they've surmised that you do not belong, the officers leave you largely alone, occupying themselves instead with the task of extricating the parishioners. The bedraggled parson's disciples cooperate with only minimal contempt, moving when they're told, answering questions when they're asked. All in all, a courteous disruption. Come on, let's go. The rector's smiles of the officers are identical in their splendor, as is the exquisiteness of their uniforms, the oiled shine of their dark hair. The Bureau of Entertainment is the branch of the Ministry of Public Decency, responsible for the well-being and upkeep of Waterbury Uxtamare. They take their duties seriously. Go quietly or bolt from them. Yeah, we'll just go quietly. They are too busy pummeling parishioners to listen. You'll surely be able to explain soon. Everyone is trying to fit in, so I guess it is smart to do the same. You really should have said something, cause a woman, box-shouldered and fetchingly crocodilian, a smile something scream-showed into her jaw. Why didn't you say anything? Oh well, too late now. The bruises are charming, I promise. Now off with you, back to Waterbury. Back to civilization. The bruises? We were not hit, were we? She thrusts you through the exit and bolts the doors behind you. The journey burns like the birth of a star, boils beneath your muscle. Okay. Go to the office of the Bureau of Entertainments. It is perched on the lip of the boardwalk, so close to the beach that its rails almost touch the wind-blasted pebbles. Here you will be able to betray the cult and forge a different alliance. Just entering the office is not betrayal, however.